Hello, class. This is part 2 now of the Unit 1, Part 1 review. And to start this off, we want to know what is replication in an experiment. And in this case, replication, this refers to applying each treatment to more than one experimental unit. Or to more than one subject. So then, moving on from that, then, we have question number 10. To help assess student learning in her developmental psychology courses, a psychology professor at a university implemented pre- and post tests for her developmental psychology students. A knowledge gained score was obtained by taking the difference of the two test scores. What type of experimental design is this? What is the response variable in this experiment? And what is the treatment? So this is, for the experimental design, this is a matched pairs. Right, this uses a pre-test versus a post-test. Based on each student. The response variable, so we'll go in order. This is the difference in test scores. Or specifically, this is the knowledge gained score. And of course, I could spell difference correctly. Difference in test score. Again, that knowledge-based score that this is referring to. And then finally, the treatment. This is the developmental psychology course. And why is the treatment the developmental psychology course? Because the pre-test was given before the class even began, and then the post-test came after the developmental psychology course was given. And then finally, we have question number 11, which is unfortunately broken up into a lot of different little parts. But for this, we have researchers wanted to evaluate whether a certain herb improved memory in elderly adults as measured by objective tests. To do this, they recruited 95 men and 127 women older than 65 years and in good health. Participants were randomly assigned to receive the herb 40 milligrams 3 times a day, or a matching placebo. A measure of memory improvement was determined by a standardized test of learning and memory. After 6 weeks of treatment, the data indicated that the herb did not increase performance on standardized tests of learning, memory, attention, and concentration. These data suggest that when taken following the manufacturer's instructions, the herb provides no measurable increase in memory or related cognitive function to adults or older than 65 years with healthy cognitive function. So, based on this, we want to know what type of experimental design is this. And well, based on the way that this is worded, and I probably should have actually left the scenario up so I can emphasize from it, the participants were just randomly assigned to those treatment groups. No attempt was made to separate them into any groupings beforehand. They were just randomly assigned the herb or the placebo. So because of this, it's a completely randomized design. Part B wants to know the population being studied. Well, specifically the specified men and women older than 65 years and in good health. So this would be adults in general. Adults 65 years old or older in good health. For part C, we want to know what is the response variable. So this would be the score on the standardized test for learning and memory. Then for part D, I have what is the factor that is being manipulated? And then what are the treatments? Well, the factor that's being manipulated, this is whether or not they receive that herb. The specific treatments are the 40 milligrams 3 times per day, per day. And the other one was that matching placebo. For part E, we have what are the experimental units? This would be that 95 men. "95 men and 127 women." Older than 65 and in good health. For part F, we want to know what the control group is, and this would be the placebo group. And why is that? That's because this is the reference point for comparison. And then finally for part G, we want to choose the correct figure that illustrates this design. And as we said from part A of question number 10 here, this is a completely randomized design. No attempt was made to first block any groupings for this experiment. So because of that, this is going to be this figure 2. All right, and that's because they were just randomly chosen for the herb or the placebo. With regards to the figure 1 on here, this one right here would be an example of that randomized block design, if that was what this question was for, which it is not. But just to point out, the randomized block design choice. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns, and good luck on the test.